watching?
At 2:17 a.m., 4 students
Matthew, where are you?
ran out of their dorms, and no one knows where they went.
Where did you go?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Coog Cinema Reviews. Today we are going to be talking about the newest horror movie, Weapons. My name is Chase.
My name is Zahi.
I'm Nova.
My name is Megan.
And let's get into the first topic.
I'm the problem. Got it.
You know what? I think that's the first honest thing I've heard you say. You are the problem.
Alright, so my initial thoughts, I really enjoyed it. I was really excited for it. This was probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And so it did not disappoint, although I didn't love it as much as I wanted to love it, for reasons we'll get into later, but I still really enjoyed it, and I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, to kind of go off of Chase, it was one of the movies I was looking forward to, which is ironic for me to say. I hate horror movies, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm in the back, waiting for it. I'm not gonna lie, I did scream in the theater, but I loved it. Not too much.
Sorry.
Anyway, I loved it. It was pretty good. My initial thoughts were like, I don't know what to expect, weapons. I don't know what's going on. I saw that trailer. It was a little confusing to me, but went in it. I didn't look at any reviews, nothing, so it was blank slate. I ended up giving it just like Chase, a 4.5 out of 5.
I was actually excited for Weapons, and I also don't do horror, so I was like, how are we gonna feel about this? I did enjoy Weapons. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy it. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5.
I think my initial thought going into it was just nothing. Like, I didn't watch, like you, I didn't watch any reviews or anything because I think the trailer itself was such a mystery, and I love trailers like that. They don't give away too much. And so I went into it. I really didn't know what to expect, but I really did enjoy it for what I watched. Sure, maybe there were some other things I thought could have been better about it, but for what I did see my first initial watch, I really did like it. I think I would give it like a 4 out of 5, for sure.
Marcus, get her a glass.
A bowl, please.
A bowl?
Alright, so our favorite characters and sections. So if you haven't seen the movie and for some reason you're watching this video, the movie is structured in 6 different acts with each character. It starts with Justine, Jennifer Garner's the main character. Then it goes to Josh Brolin, the other characters, I can't remember the exact order, but it goes through all the main characters and kind of shows the story from their perspective. And so my favorite part was probably Justine, the first character, right? That was the first one, yeah.
Teacher.
Jennifer Garner. I think it was probably my favorite because it was the most mystery, what's going on? We don't really know anything. And I love mystery movies, so I love not really understanding what's going on. And as the movie kind of went, it got more into it. So I say that's kind of why I didn't dislike any of it, but I think I liked the first one the most because it was the most what is happening here? This is a crazy situation going on.
For my favorite character, low key, I'm about to go with Alex. I mean, bro was kind of that guy.
Yeah.
From his parents doing all that crazy stuff that Gladys made do with the stabbing forks, and bro was just there taking it like a champ.
Yeah.
I think low key, some of the hate I saw online about Alex specifically was how he didn't do anything. He didn't talk to the cops or nothing. But
what is he supposed to do?
He's a baby.
Bro, he's a kid.
He was a baby.
I genuinely think seeing him and how he went about dealing with Gladys and all the crazy stuff going on, I think that was very interesting. Kind of seemed like a kid's perspective in that kind of scenario. Was like, whoa. It was kind of eye-opening a little bit. But yeah.
I like James's character section. I really thought it was funny. I feel like his character was the comedic relief that you don't expect in the horror movie, and I honestly feel like it broke the scary persona that the movie was having. During Justine's, it was very suspenseful. There was knocking, and then you see this kid who gets arrested and doesn't get arrested, and he's running from this clown, this lady, and he's very comedic, and I feel like that's nice to have because I didn't expect that coming from the movie. When he came in the house, he was trying to steal. He's like, I'm gonna steal. There's people here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What? Like, and they're not stopping him. Like, I thought it was very entertaining. I really like James.
Honestly, I think I have two. I like James and Alex. Alex primarily because also to think about it, you have this little boy who has to take care of all of his classmates by himself, can't say anything to anyone. I think that alone, and also his actor, he did such a good job playing into the role because I really felt sorry for him. I felt bad throughout this entire section. I was like, y'all, please help this baby. Like, who's gonna help this baby? But also James too, because he was like the smoking gun of the whole story. A lot of things like happened because of James. Like Paul wouldn't have known about the house if it wasn't for James. All these things kind of like, yeah, he was the comedic relief, but also too, I think he was such an important part of the story. He was kind of like the one that kind of set everything off, so to speak. So.
He low-key glued all the pieces together, ironically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wanted some money, but like, hey.
Yeah, I would also say it did have some of the scarier moments of the movie, like when he finds the parents just like sitting there, and also in the camp when he just sees Gladys just like waving, like sitting down between the trees.
Yeah.
And then immediately when he stabs Paul with the needles after.
Oh,
so I think it did have a great blend of like pretty like creepy moments, but also like the funnier moments.
Oh, sorry. Also, the little girl at the end who chased Gladys. When she like cornered her out the window, that was my favorite part. I was like, yeah, she ate that. Like she did that.
That's the real MVP, low-key.
She's the real MVP. She was not gonna rest till she got Gladys. I love that part.
Yeah, that's right.
I can make your parents hurt themselves. I can make them hurt each other. I can make them eat each other if I want to.
Yeah, so the meanings, holy, there was so many. I think one of the reasons why I really gave it that 4.5 was the meanings. I'm very a psychological kind of guy.
Definitely.
I went into the movie thinking it was just like jump scares, scary, but no, it was very psychological, very meaningful. So many hidden things. Even with like the board in the class at the very beginning of the movie, they're talking about parasites and tapeworms. Yeah. And then turns out Gladys is a parasite and she's leeching off of the kids. Yeah. Just that alone was a crazy meaning. The meaning of the title weapons, that had me confused because there was low-key no weapons used. And I was like, what's going on? What's this about? Then I realized throughout each character, they each weaponized themselves with their little niche. Like James, going back to James, him being like an addict. The whole addict and being homeless kind of weaponized himself into getting into that situation with Gladys. Same with Justine with her whole
she was an alcoholic.
With the alcohol. Yeah, I mean, that kind of everything that each character had, the little niche grief or whatever, kind of weaponized on themselves, which I thought was interesting.
I guess piggybacking off of that, in Archer's Dream, the giant AR is
I was gonna bring that
very I know I saw that Zach Krieger, the director, said that he had no intention of like gun violence being the meaning of the movie, but I think it's a little hard to see with that. I mean, it's just a giant gun over a kid's house.
It's hard to really separate.
Yeah, you know? So I think there's a lot of like hidden meanings, especially with what's going on recently, a lot of like gun violence and stuff like that. But it's also how you said like they're weaponized and how like these like traumatic things just like change people. Yeah. Like because the kids at the end, the narrators, like some of them like just started speaking again, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the narration, at least the beginning one, takes place like a couple years after the movie.
Yes, it was.
Because she's like, this is like happened a while ago, and so it's like kind of how these very traumatic things just like change people. It also changes like the parents too, and so I think, and then obviously they're literally weaponized against Gladys at the very end when they rip her apart. And so I think still like even now like a month after its release, I'm still like learning new things about it, which I always love from a movie.
I really did enjoy the movie. I also was gonna bring up the gun on top of the house in the dreams. There were a lot of like symbolism through a lot of dreams they were having. There was so much like from the tree and the bell, and what at the time we thought like, oh, what is the time? They all ran away at the same time. I thought it was gonna be a lot of like demonic spiritual things, and it turns out it was just a lot of voodoo and an old lady. I really like the title weapons. It was very like surprising that there were like no like actual like weapons involved, like one of you said. I really did enjoy it, and I thought it was really like symbolic, and it made me think after like, what does this mean, so it's like very like impactful.
I do want to also add in one of the big things. Also, one of y'all will bring it up, but I'll bring it up. The 2:17. That was kind of what the movie rolled around. The 2:17 a.m. kids came out, ran out. I remember seeing a video of remind me the director's name?
Zach Krieger.
Zach Krieger. I always mispronounce it, but yeah, Zach Krieger. He was talking about how he did the 217 as like a memorial for one of his friends. I don't know. Fact check me. Don't know. I did hear that somewhere. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think it's a reference to The Shining. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
How,
no.
Not the book, the movie by Stanley Kubrick, because it's room. Is it room 217? No, it was three.
It was 237 or 3.
That's like in the book. The book is different. Then they changed it.
In the movie, it was 217.
And then it's like a reference to that, or I think it's like 219. It's something like it's not the same in the movie, but it's something related to it.
Yeah,
but also the kids. There's 18 kids in the class, but 2 of them didn't get affected with the teacher and Alex. So
there was also another meaning behind it. It was so many different meanings with the 217 alone. I remember seeing some brought like a theory talking about. Can't remember. It was a school shooting that had happened, and it was 17 kids that unfortunately passed away. But it happened on February, 17 kids. So people were saying it was also tied to that. I saw someone else say it was tied to another like unfortunate event that happened in February. Yeah. But the 217, there was so many different meanings. Like definitely, I would look into that. Probably after this, I'll look more into it.
I like how like out of the movie, there's so many different things, but kind of just like in the movie, it's just a random time that it happened to be 217, which I also kind of liked because I was going to like what's 217, but it was just she happened to be up at that time.
So, it could be just that, to be honest. You never know.
I love you so much. What the fuck?
I think for me, with the horror movies, from what I've seen, I think I would give this, I would put it number 2 out of the horror movies that I've seen, primarily because it wasn't this super scary, gave me nightmares-esque kind of thing, for sure. But it was definitely one of those horror movies that allowed me to think, which is the point of psychological. It allows you to really think about it. And I really enjoyed too how it was filmed, how it was made, the still shots of like seeing people like running out. That was freaky, I will say.
Those shots were cool.
Those shots were amazing. I love those shots. I think it was the little details, all these little details kind of coming together that made me really enjoy this as a horror movie. So I would definitely say this is definitely like a top 3 movie for me out of the horror movies I've seen.
I'd say it kind of goes on what you count as a horror movie. I'd say I don't really count Sinners as a horror movie, even though I know it's like labeled horror. But if you count Sinners, then I'd say it's like my number 2. But if you don't, I'd say it's my number 1. I think it's a lot better than a lot of the other horror movies I've seen. This year is not the best for horror. I know there's like Together and some other horror movies that are pretty good, But I think it's definitely like my 1 or 2.
I will say I think it's my number 1. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a horror guy. Oh my, like I can't. I will literally like I'll be shivered in the seat and everything. I just can't. Out of all the horror movies I've seen like in my entire lifetime, I think I've seen the first Conjuring. I was forced to watch that, by the way. The Conjuring and some other horror movie I can't even remember. So this is literally like probably my 3rd horror movie I've seen in my entire lifetime. I really love the different narrative it took. I think that's what makes it different than everything I have seen or heard about. The different perspectives, the bouncing around from ideas, and how every single character had their little horror aspect to them. So I thought that was cool.
I love that it was more of like a what happened instead of a whodunit situation. I love that it was more of a what happened. And like I said, it's like a campfire, like everyone's stories coming together. I love movies like that, so I definitely would give it a high rating.
I don't think horror movies do that. It's very very linear. This is very non-linear. But most horror movies that I've seen and heard of is very linear. You got your demonic thing happening, or you got your killer, whichever, and it's just straight going to that story. With this one, it was literally like, oh, this person had something to do with it. Oh wait, turns out they have nothing to do with it. And you got this person. It's just, I think that's what differentiated, and that's easily my number 1.
I like how they dropped us in the middle of a story that was already happening, and they built it around the person. Like when it initially started, the kids are already gone. We don't know what's happening. We don't know who these characters are. You learn the characters as you go. In each section, you're introduced to a character, and like the pieces start to connect as people are introduced, and I really enjoy that. I would put Weapons somewhere in like the middle. I feel like we've had a lot of horror movies, like good horror movies come out, but it's really psychological, and I really liked that. And like how it was told, the storytelling was really good, the cinematography was also really good. And I think the biggest thing about Weapons is the storytelling of how it was told, instead of like how you said it's very linear, like start, end. It was like middle, beginning, and little parts here and there, and like the story connects as the watchers like watching the movie. And
they're all tied together.
Yes, exactly. I think that's really nice, and like for a horror movie specifically, that's really different. I really did enjoy that.
I love that it started off like with the black screen and then the kid just talking and explaining it. I was like, oh, okay, let me lock.
Yeah.
I was like locked in. I was like, okay, like what happened? Because you know how some movies they kind of start off with like the scary thing first and then going into it. I love that it was just black, and also too the fact that there was like little to no music really.
Yeah.
They really relied on sounds and like the feelings of the scene. I love that so much.
Yeah. Get out of my store!
Fucking help me!
What I would tell somebody coming into the movie is be open-minded and like really take in what you're watching. I really think that it has a lot to offer from a directing point of view and a storytelling point of view, and like you'll like not learn a lot, but like it gives you a lot of information, and it's like a bit everywhere, but you get it as you go and you start to enjoy it and you're getting the flow with the movie. It's really well constructed.
I would say don't go to the bathroom while watching because you will miss an important scene.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because literally every scene matters in this movie. There's no bathroom breaks. Like you're gonna miss something, and it may be confusing. So just watch it and really pay attention. I would say definitely pay attention. That's my biggest thing about that.
Yeah. I don't know if this exactly answers the question, but when I was going to see it, I told my mom I was going to watch it with a friend, and she was like, oh, I really want to watch that movie, and she doesn't really like horror movies. She didn't really know what it was, and I was like, I don't know if you think this is the movie you're trying to see. And then so I showed her the trailer, and she's like, yeah, I'm not. And like halfway through the trailer, she's like, I'm not watching this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great movie. I think everyone should go watch it, whether you're a horror fan or not. I think it's just one of those movies you just gotta
I can
see.
vouch on that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Kind of a crazy question to ask, I'm not gonna lie, because if you're watching this, you clearly haven't seen it, and so we kind of maybe give out spoilers. But if you do go see it, we didn't give enough spoilers, right? I don't think so.
Oh, we kind of spoiled
No,
it.
we did.
Yeah.
We definitely spoiled it.
Oh, well, my bad. But if you're gonna go watch it, low key, pay attention, like lock in,
Yes.
like genuinely, because we're talking about like the different characters. I didn't expect it at all. When we're talking about Justine was the first character, I thought it was just gonna be around her and figuring out solving the mystery, and then
It just
James.
switched.
James opened the door for her at a liquor store. He opened the door for her. Next thing I know, the story is on James, and that little detail, like I felt like if I paid attention to that, and so after that I was like trying to pay attention. Is this character going to be the next perspective? Is this character? But like just lock in on the little things.
Everything that you think is like minuscule and like tiny is not tiny.
Yes.
It means something.
It means a lot.
And if you have seen it, I'd recommend rewatching it. I feel like I haven't rewatched it, but I've been wanting to, and so I think you get it. You just look at it a whole different way, and you'd start to see like a ton of little different details.
It's one of those movies you're probably gonna have to rewatch,
Yeah.
and like you'll notice like small things every time you rewatch
It's
it.
like a spider web. I'm not gonna lie, because
Yeah.
each character interacted with each other, and it was just weird seeing how like whoa, so that cop was actually part of this, and then.
Yeah.
Archer, who was the father, was like, oh, he's part of it too? And then they all like incohesively interacted at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't fall asleep in your car if you're staking out someone's house.
Oh.
Do not fall asleep in
Oh
someone's car.
my god. I
Or at
forgot
least lock
about
your
that
doors.
scene.
Lock your doors at the
I
least.
completely forgot about that scene.
No, that was the scene in the theater where everyone was like,
Like, you could just feel everyone
Yeah.
just like
That triggered something right now.
Yeah.
I was
'Cause
like, are we going there? Like, is this really happening? Yeah, I was like, girl, like, put the bottle down.
just be prepared for those moments. There's
Yeah.
moments like that.
All right, guys, and that was our Kusama review. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and comment if you like the movie. Comment if you want to go watch the movie. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Go Pink.